Okay. No, Ruru. He wants my taquitos. He's like, I want your food. I want your food. Okay, this is SheThatExists. This is her story channel. I just got through swimming. For those of you who watched my last video, I was swimming in a bathtub. And because it's the COVID and basically everything is shut down. And now I'm eating taquitos. And Ruru wants some of my taquitos. I want some of your taquitos, mama. And let's see, it's been quite a day. We have DP that like threatened me because he's intimidated by real women. And won't say his full name right now, but we have DP who threatened me because he's a misogynist and he hates real women because one of his ex-girlfriends hurt him. And so we got all these misogynists who hate real women running around in the world who just think, oh, well, I'm just going to desecrate real women and innocent people, and that's how I'm going to get my revenge by hurting innocent people. And they think that that's how the game of life is played. And I've been a Life is Sacred guide for about 4 years, and I definitely know like how to live life as sacred, and I know what's up. And I've seen like all sides of everything. I got some guy named DP who calls himself a witch and a wizard and a shaman, the friendly neighborhood shaman of Oklahoma, like trying to come after me for like just helping him and just be nice and loving and kind. And he says he's for the children, and I could write a whole entire book about that. Like when you're for the children, you're not threatening innocent people who are trying to help you. And he did like a reading for my friend who lost her children through social services that are traffickers, like people working for a corporation who are like slave traders who are moving, trading children. And I taught a master's course on trading, trafficking, and commerce. And it's on the YouTube, my master's course on that. And this guy, he's like a spring chicken, thinking that he could threaten me, and his exact words were, "You're done, lady." So I just have to laugh at that. And then one of my good friends told me, he's like, "Stop giving your attention to the zombies. You scare the zombies." And apparently he's afraid of a real woman, because real women will come on like eating their dinner. Real women will come on and go live with no makeup, with their hair like this. Real women will show up in the bathtub wearing a swimsuit, like going, "I'm just swimming because it's on lockdown and it's COVID, and I'm just embracing my inner child and just living life, and just want to see some good things happen in this world." Like, then you got your fake women. They won't even like go on camera because of their insecurities and their broken and their fractured parts, and like because they feel like, oh, everything has to be perfect before I let the world see me and stuff like that. The way I see it, people are going to like me or they're not going to like me. I don't have to have fillers in my face. I don't have to have injections in my face. I don't have to have like makeup done a certain way. I don't have to have my hair done a certain way. I don't have to be I don't have to wear certain. I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm here to be me. Just like Trusty's here to be Trusty. Like Trusty's not sitting around going, "Oh, I have to be a certain way, or my mom is not going to love me." Right, Trusty? He just wants these taquitos. That's all Trusty wants. Trusty just wants the taquitos. That's all that he wants. No, you can't. I'm sorry I tempted you. I'm sorry, Trusty. So, okay. I titled this video because Scott is in the community, and he suggested that the next... I'm sorry, Trusty. I should not be like having these taquitos in your face. I mean, Scott's in the community, and he suggested that the next video that I teach would be about like... Don't Oh, trusty. He's so cute. Look at his sweet little face. It would be overcoming bondage and captivity, and making an analogy of Israel's captivity in Egypt, starting with Joseph, ending with Moses. And when I saw that, like, it was right whenever I was clicking off, I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's a really good idea. And people don't know. And this is, I guess this is what triggered DP. Whenever I was trying to let him know, like, that we are, like, most people are captive, and most people are slaves on paper and they don't know it. And he just got all offended, Donovan P, and just thought, oh, I'm just going to threaten this woman. But I was trying to help him. But yeah, like, what most people don't know is, like, we have been, like, taken into captivity, taken in bondage. The US citizens and other citizens in the world are in captivity on paper. I'm gonna trust you some of my taquito. And he's looking some of the hot sauce. So, yeah, I need to do something about overcoming bondage and captivity, and make an analogy of Israel's captivity in Egypt, starting with Joseph and then with Moses. That's an interesting timeline. I was reading about Daniel, and Daniel was taken captive, and he was a prince, and he was taken captive, and he was brought into the land of Babylon. And Babylon is the spirit of confusion, the land of confusion. And that's why so many people, like, they don't know the truth. And everybody's just running around in captivity in Babylon. I've been sharing this for 4 years. So when people come to me like, oh, this person's a truth speaker, or this person's seeking the truth, like, I don't have time for that anymore. I can't be giving, like, my energy and my life force and, like, everything away to everybody for free anymore. Like, you want to learn, then take my classes, or to pay me for consulting, or for one-on-one time and attention and coaching. But, like, I'm not, like, here to just give myself away for free evermore, because everybody has to, like, earn a living. Everybody has to have a place to live. Right? Everybody gets paid for their work. And even the scriptures say that a laborer is worth their pay. And so, but I was studying Daniel, and Daniel was taken captive. He was born a prince, and he was taken captive to Babylon. And what was so cool about his life story is YaHuWaH, the one true living creator God, gave him the ability to interpret dreams and visions. And that's one of the gifts that I've been given as a visionary, is I receive visions, and, like, it's interpreted for me. And so I have the gift to see in that way. And I'm so secure in myself as a daughter of God and as a daughter of YaHuWaH. Like, I don't have to put on a mask. I don't have to put on a front. I don't have to be something that I'm not. I'm not here to impress anybody. Like, I don't even care if anybody watches these videos. Like, I started creating these videos for myself so I could find my own voice, because my voice was taken from me at a very young age. And so I started doing it for myself to find my voice. And I started doing it for my daughter, for my child, so that she'd be proud of me, to know that, like, I stayed true to who I am. I stayed true to God. I stayed true to my calling. I stayed true to my purpose, even against all odds, even against murder, even against attempted human trafficking, even against almost being trafficked and traded to the Mexican cartels. And I look at these people who, like, God has appointed and, like, given them great purpose, like, in different kingdoms and different queendoms and different places. Like, they've been given different gifts and abilities, such as interpretation of dreams and visions. And Daniel was a prophet. And oh no, Ruru, he knocked it, like, off the plate, and it, like, almost fell. But I was reading again in one of the stories, and I found a really good, like, visual story where somebody did, like, a short brief movie, like, on Daniel and the king of Babylon and stuff. But the writing was on the wall. Like, they were partying it up and reveling in the king and the king's garden and this and that and the other. And then YaHuWaH, the one true living creator, he literally, like, put the writing on the wall, like, to give a message to warn the king of Babylon at that time. And so he brought in, like, his magicians, and he brought in, like, the Praise God. I'm talking about the subject matter that you mentioned because I was like, that's a really good idea to talk about overcoming bondage and captivity, making an analogy of Israel's captivity of Egypt, starting with Joseph and ending in Moses. So I'm talking about Daniel and how the king of Babylon, he brought in like the sorcerers and the magicians and the astrologers and people like that to interpret the writing that was on the wall, and none of them could do it because they were not I saw you like post it like right before I ended the live, and so I was like, oh my gosh, like that needs to be talked about because people don't know that we're in bondage and we're in captivity today, like all over the world, but especially in the United States. Like it's ancient Egypt and ancient Babylon all over again, unless people know like the ancient scriptures and the ancient stories. And then they don't know how to free themselves from captivity, and they don't know how to free themselves from bondage because there's nothing new under the sun. Oh my gosh, Trusty's eyeballs are like sticking out like so big for these taquitos right now. So funny. I'm so glad you mentioned, Daniel. Those the very same. Uh-oh. Hold on. Trusty pushed a button on the laptop. Those very same entities are being unleashed. Yes, we literally are living in ancient Babylon and ancient Egypt today. That's what I was saying. Okay, that's what I was saying. I was saying that we're living in ancient Egypt and ancient Babylon today, especially in the United States. The United States is the like Babylonian whore, false whore, um like multi-headed beast, and like we are literally living in ancient Babylon and ancient Egypt today, and people are in bondage and captivity, and like they don't even know it, they're just so unaware. And I'm like really passionate about this, and that is a vision that I received from YaHuWaH, the one true living God creator, as a daughter of Creator, that the great exodus is here. And like it was given to me like clearly, like there is no getting out of it. And so there's no way I could like not teach it because it's what the one true living God creator showed me in a vision, that I know like, oh my gosh, like we're here. And I've claimed my nationality because whenever there was the attempted murder on my life, God led me like the whole entire way, the one true living God creator. And I say God like loosely because God's a title and people misuse God. And hold on, I'm taking another bite. People misuse God. And that's something that I get really frustrated about, is people misuse God. But that's why God didn't like just reveal his name to everybody. Like God revealed his name to the children of God. Now I started studying the ancient 24 letter Hebrew text, and the name is revealed in the ancient 24 letter Hebrew text, and it says that we're to publish the true name of God. So now I just speak it out: YaHuWaH, 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 and it means that which self exists, which makes sense because God is everywhere at the same time. You can't kill God. God is self existing. God has been here since the beginning of time, will always be, always is, always was. Like everything, everything, everything. I love him so much. He's kept me here. He's my best friend. All right. So yeah, that subject matter that you mentioned, I will do that. But it's going to take me a while to start with Joseph and then go all the way up to Moses. But it's what I need to do right now. And so like me and you are at a place where I call right now, like we're resonating, like synchronicity. And this is what I need to do. But back to Daniel. Hey, Rube. Back to Daniel. The king of Babylon. He's my hero. You go, Trusty. He has saved my life. He's Trusty the medicine doggy. And he has saved my life like many times. And whenever I felt all alone, whenever I was being persecuted for living for Creator, whenever I was being persecuted as a daughter of the one true living God Creator, Trusty was there for me. Like, Trusty's always been there for me. And I finally learned that's why his name is Trusty, because he's been helping me trust the one true living God creator for my life path and all the challenges that I've been on. And so he's my hero too. So it's something to let people think about. Yes. Like, and just put the truth out there and then just let it simmer. Like, let people think about it, but also let it go into people's hearts. I want a soda. Let it like simmer in people's hearts, right? Because that's where the seat of the soul is. And when people can let it just simmer in their heart and the seat of their soul, then that's when they could take it in and digest and everything. And what people need to do is people need to stop like judging, like, and just like open their mind to like truth and people's life experiences and like somebody who has wisdom from real life experience, and just let it simmer in their hearts instead of jumping to the gun or jumping to try to murder somebody or destroy somebody, or you're done, like Donovan P, the live streaming gamer, threatening me. And instead of going, well, like, what do you mean by like we're in slavery? What do you mean by like we're captive? But let me go back to Daniel in the story that I was watching. But like, when the writing was on the wall and none of the sorcerers and none of the magicians and none of the astrologists could interpret it, the king of Babylon at the time, the queen came to him and she said to him, your grandfather was a believer in this one true God, named YaHuWaH, and he consulted with the prophet of this God named Daniel. So call on Daniel and he will be able to interpret the writing of the wall. So he called on Daniel, and at this time Daniel was like an aged elder prophet, and he was able to interpret the writing on the wall. And it was basically like, like, I don't want to say like a warning, but it was basically like a warning, like, it's time to get your kingdom in order, not like just your house in order, but your kingdom in order. And that's where we're at now. Like, the loving God creator wants everybody to repent, wants everybody to confess, wants everybody to come back to the heart of God, to come back to their own heart, and live their life with deep meaning, and to honor life as sacred. And God is long suffering. But at the same time, there has to be a time of like righteous judgment, of righteous anger. And like the Donovan P who threatened to destroy me and said, you're done, lady. Like, you can't be for children with this whole save the children movement and then threaten to destroy innocent women and innocent daughters and sons of the one true living God creator, who have been on this life path, doing like the true work for the one true living creator. And thank goodness, like, I know who I am and that I'm whole and healed and self-functioning, and that I've not only survived like the trauma that I've lived through, but I've made it this far and I've integrated, because now I could help other people to integrate. And being a natural trauma care specialist is only one of my specialties. And let me see what she wrote. Every little bit of truth that they can get right now is truly vital, because the enemy is armed and in the streets. The enemy is everywhere. The enemy is coming through the televisions, through the radio, to obviously through politics, which just means to keep things status quo. Um, and everywhere, like the internet, like everywhere, social media, everywhere. And because Babylon means confusion, like people don't even know like the spirit of confusion is everywhere, and that they're just all running around confused, and the truth is like hidden, but it's in plain sight. Is that what the writing was on the wall? Mene Tikal upon apasin Mene. I was just watching it today. Like, I'm not a Bible scholar. Where's my pen? Hold on. I'm gonna write that down. I'm not a Bible scholar, but I have been a student, self-taught. since I was 14 years old. So I'm going to write that down. My scholarly work right now is in natural law and international wartime law and universal law. And my mastery is in consciousness. I got to get a resume together. I just want to get like a regular, like, I don't know, maybe like a part-time remote thing, like working in research or something, just something like easy that I could do in my sleep, and then to still fulfill my calling from like God, my purpose and everything. What analogy that is the writing is on the wall but nobody can read? Yes, that may not be spelled correctly. I'm so glad you're like a part of this community and that you showed up. I've been specifically like putting my intentions and my prayers out there, like that I want to attract people of like frequency, like vibration, who are like a resonancy, who I don't want to say like mature because people don't even know what that means anymore, but people who are like on the path, who have done the inner work, and like people who know how to connect in ways that are authentic and real. Trusty cleaned the plate. Really? Oh, like I feel like I've just been like living in a cave and I was like turning into this hermit, and I don't want to be a hermit. I don't want to die in the cave as a hermit. I just want to live my life, be happy, have good friends. Like one of my main frustrations that I've been sharing like with a couple of my friends is like people don't even know how to like be friends anymore. Like people don't even know what that means, like how to connect in ways that are real authentic and be friends. So it basically means your days are numbered. Yeah, yeah, like I said, I didn't want it, like I didn't say, oh, it was like a threat, but it did. It was like, get your house in order, get your kingdom in order, or else I'm going to come and destroy you. Like, because the one true living creator, just as much as Yahuwah is loving and benevolent and kind and grace filled, and the goodness of YaHuWaH creator who loves us, and that love calls us to repentance, that love draws us to confession, that love is what brings us back into our own hearts, like to not be barbarians, to not be depraved degenerates and monsters. That's the same God creator that will destroy you if you do not come back into your heart and to connect to the God particles and God aspects of your being as a son or daughter of God, and to connect to your own divinity. Because when a man or like a female or male is separated from their creator, they're barbarians. Like I've seen females like just tear up other females, and they are equally responsible for what's going on with the child sex slavery that's going on today, because they don't care like about that mom who's trying to protect their child from child sex slavery and child sex trafficking. They are such monsters and such like Jezebel spirited females that they they're insecure, they're jealous, and they're not whole, they're not functioning. So all they know is destruction. And I've seen it the same thing with males and females, and I just sit back and observe and go, wow. Like, wow, we are living in Sodom and Gomorrah. We're living in Egypt. We're living in Babylon. Um, it's close to hell, right? But it's not when you're a child or son or daughter of Yahuwah and the one true living creator. We have angels that protect us, but like I've seen it all. But yeah, it means your days are numbered. And so I always listen when Yahuwah creator is guiding me, and that's where it's at right now. This is where we're at. Like literally people who refuse to come back into their hearts and to purify themselves and to purify their minds and purify their hearts and to reconnect to their God aspect and their God nature as sons and daughters of the one true living Creator, YaHuWaH, who do not repent and do not confess and who do not get back on that path, their days are numbered. And there's no coincidence, there's no accident that Creator YaHuWaH like brought me back to study Daniel this week, and to go back to the ancient prophets of old, because the scriptures are clear that the watchmen and the watchwomen on the wall are going to be speaking out like in these times. And it's not like that we're in end times, it's not like the world is ending, it's just that we're in new and interesting times for the new earth, and those that refuse to purify themselves and to get right and to get real and authentic and live in their hearts, their days are numbered. So I'm not going to sit here and live in fear of Donovan P, who threatens me because I ask him what's his plan to save the children. Because now that there's a movement, like, oh, save the children movement. Like, okay, you people who are all about saving the children, I've been voicing and speaking as the protector of the children for some time now. So I know all the ins and outs of human trafficking, and I know all the ins and outs of modern day slavery. And I've actually lived it and survived it, and have exodus from Egypt and Babylon myself, and have witnessed Sodom and Gomorrah with my own eyes. So what's your plan, all these people who are going to save the children and be for the children? And he said, Donovan P is for the kids. And I just said, you might want to change that, because kids implies trafficking and child slavery, because kids equals goats, chattel, cattle, which is to be moved and trafficked, and is commerce, which is trafficking and slavery. So you're not going to save the children by calling them kids. Oh my God, I just can't deal with zombies, and I don't want to deal with idiots. So, but I still have to come and teach, and I still have to come and share, and I still have to fulfill my calling, because I don't listen to man-made anything. Anything that's man-made, female-made, or whatever, anything that's not God, I'm not going to listen to. I'm not going to obey. Like, I'm not going to sit in fear and go, oh, Donovan P, who's a Twitch streamer of a video game thing, is going to destroy me, and he threatened me that I'm done. No, dude, you're not God. Like, you don't have the power to destroy me. Like, I've taken on entire industries, and I'm still here, and I've died, and God resurrects me. So to be truthful, it's my belief that it's not only the selfish sexual abuse, but I do think Talk to Text messed something up, but something lost her job in cannibalism they're teaching. I wish I knew what you really meant to say. Yeah, there is cannibalism involved. They are teaching cannibalism, that I know. They are teaching cannibalism. It's sexual rituals on children. It's cannibalism. It's feeding off the life force of children. But what they're doing is they're going back to like ancient rituals of like false gods and demons of like Baphomet, Baal, and they're doing like sexual rituals. They're also doing sacrifices like through sexual rituals, and human sacrifices, and human trafficking is a ritual. Human trafficking is a sacrifice because it's murder. And so it's like all conclusive. The opposite of fear is love, and not courage. That's why I just stand in my truth. Like people say be brave or be courageous, but like if we don't have our truth of our life journey and our life path and who we are, then we have nothing. Because that's what the world does. It tries to change you. It tries to make you seem like you're something that you're not. And that's what they've done to me, is they've tried to like change my identity and tell me that I'm something that I'm not. And that has been like the most frustrating. Like people that don't even know me, trying to define me, trying to tell me I'm something that I'm not and make me something that I'm not and who I am. But that's also been the beautiful part like of the journey because of everything that I've been through. I know who I am as a daughter of Yahuwah and the Most High and the one true living creator. I hate to say it, but I think Save the Children is doing just the opposite. Finally, somebody with some common sense. They're doing just the opposite. And I think Save the Children was like created by like whoever that vaccination dude is. Like I don't give these people any of my time or attention because they're meaningless to me and they don't affect me or my world. And they're not God. They're not creator. So I don't give them any of my attention. But yeah, it's doing just the opposite. Because people don't know what they're talking about. That's why I said to Donovan P, as the protector of the children, I said, well, what's your plan? How are you going to save the children? But like, people don't even know the truth of the reality of the world in which we exist. So they're not saving children. They don't know that we're living in modern day Egyptian slave trade and modern day Babylon. They don't even know how to save the children. They don't even know how to save their self. They don't even know that we are the children. We are the children. And then if our children don't have us, then where are they going to go? Like if the children don't have their parents, they're just going to be captive slaves. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to deal like with idiots anymore. I don't want to have anything to do with zombies, but I have to do this work for God and I have to fulfill my purpose and I have to fulfill my calling and I have to express myself. I can't live as a hermit anymore. I decided 2 days ago I'm not going to be a hermit anymore. That's supposed to say the ritualized torture and cannibalism that are teaching the children. Okay, I'll reread it then. To be truthful, it's my belief that it's not only this selfish sexual abuse, but ritualized torture and cannibalism that they are teaching children. Yep. I have a friend who told me that her children told her that they took her underneath the schools and sexually abused them. And when she like reported it to get help for her children, who told her they took her children underneath the school and sexually abused and tortured them, she had her children like taken from her and then she was like forced to be like in counseling or psychiatry as like being insane and crazy. This is literally the state of the world that we're in. It's not bad. Like that's why people need to like humble themselves. And the scriptures are clear that like if we humble ourselves and we repent, then like the one true living creator will come in and like heal our land and save us. And so that's why like this Donovan P that threatened me and like threatened to harm me and said, "You're done, lady." Like, dude, like okay, I've been through way worse than you. You say you're going to save the children and you're for the children, but you don't even know like what needs to be done. So, unless you want to humble yourself and get respect, then don't message me, and unless you could treat me with respect and loving kindness. And so, yeah, then he ended up blocking me, and I'm grateful because I don't deal with young punks. That's because it is true here in Asheville. Before they attacked the police department the night before last, they sent a coffin full of dirt and cow manure. Oh, okay. Vampirism. Okay. Well, that's because vampirism is true here in Asheville. Before they attacked the police department the night before last, they sent a coffin full of dirt and cow manure. Exactly. The Pharaoh astrologers used to try to cure his leprosy with the blood of Hebrew babies. Adrenochrome. That makes sense. Like that. I like you, Scott. I like you. Yeah, vampirism is real. Like some lady messaged me on a different social media site, and I could tell like that she was caught up in all of that at one time, and then her and her husband had like a falling out. And so like now she's just like going to war. It's like two narcissistic sociopathic vampires going to war with one another over their children. And finally I just had to say, I can't text you anymore. And I slept for 14 hours afterwards. I literally felt so drained. So, like, vampirism is real, but that makes sense that they tried to cure the leprosy with the blood of the Hebrew babies. Gates, the gates of hell, about to be opened by Bill Gates with this damnable vaccine. Yeah, we're living in interesting times. Scott, how did you find me? Like, how did you find my channel? I'm telling, like, people need to turn off the TV, people need to turn off the radio, people need to sit outside with nature, with a tree, and just still their mind and get quiet and peaceful inside. Drop down from living in their head and the chatter in their head, like down into your hearts, and listen to that still small voice inside, because it's the only thing that's going to save you in times like this. I look forward to it, like, because I know who I am as a daughter of the one true living God. I've been through hell. I've been through everything, like everything that anybody could go through, being persecuted and attacked and attempted murder and like every name in the book, like accused of everything you could think of. I've been accused and attacked. So when that Donovan P like threatened me today, I was just like, bring it, bring it. I even told like a national group. I told them to bring it too, and I told them that they didn't know God. Because like God loves us and cares about our heart and cares about our feelings and cares about like everything that we're going through. Like God is very caring and loving, the one true living creator, and the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, um, cares about everything about us, is nurturing, is comforting, is warm, is kind, like gentle, every aspect of the mother nurturer that could be. Like, so people say whatever at this point, I don't care. I've experienced it all. Like, I only wake up and answer to the one true living God every day and go to bed listening to the one true living creator every day. And Mene Tekal Apen Mane, your days are numbered. That's right, I didn't even say it right. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm on the path and know who I am as a daughter of Creator, and I've been through it all. So when people threaten me, I've had my life threatened like so many times. Like over and 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 over again. Even my own family trying to have me trafficked and traded to the Mexican cartels, So I have spirulina in my water, and I also add beet powder to my water. That's how I get like all my nutrients. So I want to share two things right now that I'm reading for my scholarly work in natural law and sacred law. And natural law, for the times that we're in with this captivity and this Babylonian ancient slave trade we got going on, this Babylonian ancient Egyptian slave trade that we have going on. in the United States and all over the rest of the world. Because they're just a bunch of like black magic magicians, and they're terrible black magic magicians. These politicians and their actors, and they're just like a fraternity boys club. So, and studying the law of nations. This is a part of my scholarly work. And another book that is a part of my sacred library that I've been studying for the times that we're in right now is called The Gnosis and the Law. That's a big one too. But I do my part. I listen to YaHuWaH. I do what I'm here to do. I trust Yeshua with my life. Food, water, shelter, living. Providence is all I can say. Oh, like how you found my channel, Providence. I really appreciate that. I remember you too. The first time you popped onto this channel, I was teaching my master's course on money consciousness. This whole like streaming live thing, like I never knew like I never knew like that it was just like so like over the top. Now I got like some video gamer who streams himself playing video games threatening me. Yay. Aren't you cool, dude? You're a video gamer and you're a witch who practices the dark arts and the light arts, and you're telling me I'm done. Okay, get your zombie clonies after me. Like, I've seen it all. So I could do astrology. I know how to do sorcery if I needed to. I know how magic works. But I got one up on you. I'm a daughter of YaHuWaH. So people are funny. Alright, so I don't live in fear. Fear is the opposite of love. And I mean, it's all in the ancient texts and the scriptures. Do not fear, do not fear, do not fear, do not fear. I haven't had the TV on in 2 years except for very small instances. But I'm a very lustful man. Well, at least you can't admit it. At least you're not disrespectful. I appreciate that. Like, my closest friends that I have in my life right now are men, but I'm not friends with boys because they don't even know how to communicate with real women. But my closest friends are men, and I'm learning that it's like men have a harder time in this world developing than females. Like, so it's like whenever I can find men that know how to communicate with real women who have developed themselves, there's that respect there. There's that respect there. Because I think that guys have a harder time in society because they're taught to like repress their feelings and repress their emotions and hide their feelings and hide their emotions. But like you really can't develop as a soul, and you really can't develop unless you are in touch with yourself. That's just how it works. Indeed, your individuality is refreshing. It's like refreshing. It's like I can see you blossom. I appreciate that. When I started this channel, I could not even express myself. Like It was like the biggest nightmare to just sit in front of a screen and record and to voice and to share anything about my life, because I was afraid that if I shared like everything I went through with my child and in my first marriage, like I was literally afraid that they would have me murdered, and they did attempt my murder. But the one true living creator is real. So now they don't do anything to me. Like I even experienced like gang stalking in the past. Um, but I don't even get gang stalked anymore. Um, they can't do anything. Like God is God, you know? Angels are real, you know? Just like there were people who were resurrected after they died in the scriptures. It's the same thing for today, you know? If God lives in you and you're a son or daughter of the Most High, the one true living creator, then they can't kill you. And, you're here until you fulfill your purpose. So maybe my journey was just like overcoming fear, because love is the opposite of fear. So thanks, Scott. Yeah. And you popped up onto my channel whenever I was teaching my master's course on money consciousness. I might need your help though with putting together something for overcoming bondage and captivity, and making an analogy of Israel's captivity in Egypt, starting with Joseph, ending with Moses. I'm definitely not going to be able to complete this in a week, but I feel like this will be really good to go with my scholarly work. Because this is where I'm going with my thesis. Where I'm going with my thesis for my scholarly work is natural law and balance on earth. And so the thesis will be on natural law and also bringing balance, not into our lives individually, but balance for all of Mother Earth, which does include children. But people don't even get it. Like this whole Save the Children movement, they don't even get it, like that we are the children, and like what, they're just going to save our children and then like let all the parents be murdered and sacrificed. Okay, well, then that just makes our children slaves. And so it doesn't even make any sense. Like I just I just have to laugh some days. Like just laugh. That's why I was just in my swimsuit in the bathtub earlier, because I was just like I would go to the spa or something, but like it's like COVID and everything that's going on. So I'm just gonna get in the bathtub and go swimming and just relax and just enjoy being a daughter of God. Like people have just truly forgotten what it's like to just relax and just be. Relax and just be. I have another friend who he's been targeted for a while. I've tried to help, like, so many times. I've tried to help him just, like, heal from being targeted and just, like, come back into his heart and come back into a place of trust. But, yeah, he's still targeted. He pops in and watches videos and shared my master's course on trafficking and commerce and how the birth certificate fraud and, the trafficking of our birth certificates. And he said to me that, like most people, like 99% of people don't even know what's going on with like the birth certificate fraud and the trafficking and modern day slavery. And so, yeah, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for research for bringing balance to the earth for all of us. And since my mastery is in consciousness, and my scholarly work, I'm going toward natural law, and I'm going to include in my thesis the topic of consciousness and also soul as a soulologist. So my thesis is going to include soulology consciousness and natural law and bringing balance to earth, since we all are inhabitants. Then publish it, and my work as a child of God is complete. In the meantime, I've decided not to be a hermit, because I was looking that up. Like, the dark side of the hermit is like being bitter and being hardened and being depressed and like thinking the world is against you, and like bringing up past heartache, past pain all the time, and how people have hurt you. And I've thought about it, like, I don't want to live in past pain. I don't want to live in past heartache. I don't want to live in past suffering, past trauma. Like, there's more to life than this. So that was 2 days ago. And I realized that the jerks are going to be everywhere. Like, people that are jerks are going to be everywhere. Like, people that are insecure are going to be everywhere. People who are full of hate. People who haven't done the inner work. People aren't loving. You know, they're always going to have something to say. So, but yeah. So, Scott, you have given me a really nice homework assignment. So I want to thank you, because it's a big homework assignment. And I always go really deep with stuff, and because my thesis and my work to leave this earth before I pass, and my assignment from God, has everything to do with the law of nations and natural law and true freedom, and where all that is in mastery of consciousness. I think it's only fitting that I bring in the timeline of overcoming bondage and captivity, and talk about ancient Babylon and Egypt, and Israel's captivity. And Joseph's own siblings sold him into slavery. And I used to be upset and hurt that my family attempted to sell me into slavery. You know, I don't ever really have many nice things to say about my sister, because she was a part of that. But Joseph's own family members sold him into slavery, and his life turned out pretty good. So, no more heartache for me. No more hurting for me. No more dwelling in past sadness and past heartbreak and past suffering for me. No more hermit. All right. So I got out of the bathtub to make this and talk about this, and my hair is almost already dry. So I also want to like connect with like the ancient angels more. I've been connecting with like the ancient Hebrew angels, and it's really been like changing my life. So thank you, Scott. I appreciate you. I've been focusing on softening my heart and allowing good people into my life and allowing love in and allowing myself to express love more openly. Like goodness, love, care, kindness, support, nurture. Because I have all that to give, but we're here to receive it too. Those are the God parts of us, the God parts of us that so many people are afraid of, that they deny their own goodness. And I say that our God particles, like our God parts, our God particles of ourselves, are those good parts of us, our goodness. So I've been softening my heart, because who wants to be like bitter? She's a bitter old lady. Nobody wants to be that. So, all right. I don't really have anything else to share right now. I'm proud of myself for how far I've come on this channel, because I've always been so introverted. So, yeah. Law of balancing the earth is written on the Georgia guide stands. But that's from the globalist point of view. Depopulation is what Bill Gates feels his life calling his. It says but I don't think he meant but. But a true balance can only be Georgia Guidestones? I'll research Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, people don't listen to the globalist. The depopulation, the way that that's going to work is those who don't return in their hearts. That's the true judgment. And those people are the ones who are going to fall away. The ones who refuse to repent, the ones who refuse to confess. And it goes back to the writing on the wall about the days being numbered. I have this book. It's called A Guide for the Advanced Soul. Let me drink some of my orange juice. Hold on. Okay. It's called A Guide for the Advanced Soul, a book of insight. Hold a problem in your mind. Open this book to any page, and there will be your answer. Be realistic. Plan for a miracle. I think I'm gonna go to bed. Kind of tired. Oh, I'm always open to like people emailing me and sharing their stories, sharing their challenges. Yeah, and yet he gave for them all. Like everything was just handed to us on a platter. Like, here you go. If anybody wants to email me like prayer requests too, I definitely know the power like of coming together with single-minded intention for two or more. There you go, sister. You're making some major connections now. I feel like the best thing I can share right now is like for everybody to just take as much time as you can during your day to turn off the noise, to turn off the TV, and to just sit with the silence and breathe. Because that's where all of our answers come, in the silence. All of the answers come upon our breath. In the silence. The television and the media and the internet is used as a form of mind control, entertainment, entrainment, and a part of my mastery and consciousness. I didn't go like too deep in it because I didn't stay at the school where I was going to for a long time. I didn't want to be mind controlled or programmed. But that's something that they taught entrainment, which is a form of mind control, which that word is so close to entertainment, but that's what entertainment is. So just turn everything off. Sit with the silence and deprogram yourself. L is also a station. Do you know at the end of Michael and Gabriel, like sergeant or captain? Yeah. Oh, I was talking. Okay, yeah, I was talking about that to like one of my old friends who their last name, I mean the last part of their name ends in Yul, IEL, and L being an aspect of like Elohim, God creator. And so we were just like literally just talking about that. Michael, Gabriel. Yep. Yep. Thank you for blessing me. I really appreciate your blessings. People can be jerkwads. And today was literally that day. Somebody was a jerkwad. Before though, I would let their ugliness or their darkness or their shadows like infect me. That's the best way I could word it, like infect, like an infection. And I would let it like set me back on my path, but not anymore. Now I know, like, if somebody's like threatening me, telling me you're done, or I'm going to do a live stream on you and I'm going to destroy you. Now I'm just like, cool. The one true living creator God, like, has my back, and that means something awesome is going to take place, because I know who I am. So I have witnessed and seen it all. So I receive your blessings, and we are to bless one another for sure. Have a good night. I don't know like where you're at exactly or what time it is there, but I think I'm just gonna call it a day. Go to bed. Say my prayers, connect and commune. Maybe call in and connect with an angel or two. So it's very nice connecting with you, Scott. And take care. And I'm definitely going deeper in the subject matter that we discussed, and I definitely think it needs to go in my thesis for my scholarly work for natural law and what a real nation is, because the Messiah taught nation building, and we just live in one big corporation. People don't even know it. So I'll leave it at that for now, and I'll be back. This is She That Exists for the She That Exists Her Story channel. And I'm grateful for true souls that are heart-centered that can show up and connect. I like this. I enjoyed this, Scott. Thank you very much. Bless you too. Good night.